CSU Extension has has a farmers like luncheon, like they have a break. It's on the first and last Tuesdays at the research station on Rogers Mesa. And so I've been going like for the last 2 or 3 months, like I make my time that I'm going to and from errands in Hotchkiss to stop in there and sharing these experiences with all the different kinds of producers that we have in the North Fork, whether it's a seed producer that's raising, organic seed to sell into the market of vegetables and flowers and all of those things, orchards, market gardeners, farm to table restaurants, like they all come to that. And so we talk about and share a lot of the pain points, and it's wild how many of them are interconnected. Like a lot of it is over-regulation. It's regulation to the point where the big guys that have corporate lawyers that can write the plan know how to navigate it, but the little guy whose scale is so much smaller than what the rules and regulations are built for can't afford to do it within the scope, because let's say their clean pack room is like 4 feet by 10 feet to wash vegetables to sell, right? Well, that's 6 inches too narrow for whatever this corporate wash pack system is, but that's all the space that they have. So then they have to apply for a variant, all of this stuff, all of this regulation that's geared towards huge companies and has no leeway for the little guy who's like trying to do it right on the ground. And it's always comes up. But all of us are working together to try and figure out ways to either share. So like if you built one common space and you can bring your stuff in there, because it also doesn't make sense to have 50 wash packs if you can have 2 and just bring your stuff there and ship out of there. And so that's just another one of those ways of like, well, how do we support? Like if you have the means, maybe you should reach out to your producer to see, how can I support you financially, whether it's a loan, whether it's a prepayment for a CSA. There's lots of options that people don't think about, right? Because it's not right in front of them, or no one suggested that idea to them.
Right.
That I went and did a talk in Denver, and I was talking about like, there's times when like the mortgage is coming up and I'm just not sure how I'm gonna make it. Like we're gonna be short. And do you know how many of those folks and how many of my beef customers that were there said, how about I prepay you for the next 5 years worth of beeves to help you bridge the gap? Yep. Like they're like, we want to do that, because if you don't succeed, we don't know where we're going to go to get our next beef.
And the good quality beef that they want.
Absolutely. With, let cows be cows and let them do everything that they're supposed to do and not force them to do anything they're not supposed to do. And our cows only have one bad day ever. Literally, right? They show up, they're like, oh, what's going on? Yep. That's it, right? Yeah. Game over. And so that's another one of those, that's like the social capital of building this tribe, right? Because that's what I call them. I call them my beef tribe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we send out a monthly newsletter, and the feedback that we get of people like, oh, this looks so good, or we're so excited for our beef, or we're gonna come and stay, or whatever, right? Because we're going back to that village model, which is what built America.
And that's what we need.
And we absolutely need it. We need a processor in every town. If we had a processor in every town, that would change the dynamic of that. If the people in town could go into a storefront, retail storefront of a processor, and buy locally raised meat, whether it's pork, lamb, goat, whatever, that would change the health costs of our towns. As well, it would also help bring all of the farmers and ranchers up in what their products were worth. Because so many people are just cow-calf, sell into the commodity system, and never see the value, the true value of what the product is that they're raising.
I mean, like I was mentioning earlier with the new Nebraska one, that At the end of the year, they'll have 75,000 head capacity, and their goal is to hit 200,000. And that is just mind-numbing.
Well, and whenever I hear those numbers, I think of how much trucking to haul feed in and how much trucking to haul poop out and how much water, both drinking water and wash water, that's going to take.
Yeah, because, so for full transparency, you can look this up. I forgot the name, but you can just say Nebraska, new large feedlot operation. It's all on concrete. And again, yeah, they're working toward, they just got, originally it was for 150,000, but I guess how things were going, they worked with the local governments, was able to get more permits to where now it's capacity of 200,000, and yeah, all on concrete. It's just brutal.